Welcome to the Trill NBA Show. I'm your host, Felicia Ann Rose Enuha, aka the Trillest NBA you will ever know. And I'm here to help you survive and thrive in corporate America by giving you the truth and being as real as only I can be. Happy Sunday, everybody. Hopefully this actually comes out on Sunday, seeing that I'm recording this on Saturday morning. And I haven't sent it to Chris because I'm recording it. This is not going to be a full episode. I'm traveling. So when I'm traveling, things get dicey with my time. And when I say I'm traveling, I'm literally going from one cousin's house to another close friend's house. Everybody is vaccinated. I still am quarantining pretty tough, but still I'm interacting with other quarantined individuals on a limited basis. There's still a pandemic, y'all. And I know some of y'all are like, we should be free. Set us free. I don't feel free. So I still limit my human interactions and contacts. And I try to only go to the grocery store pretty much. With that said, though, I am out of town and I don't have my equipment with me and I didn't have time to produce the show. So here we are. But I did want to come and I wanted to get a pulse check from everybody that listens to this show. I really appreciate you guys listening to the show. This show is not easy or simple to produce. I take a lot of time, a lot of energy and effort to think about the type of content that would be most helpful to you on your career journey as a corporate warrior. And because of that, I want to make sure that I'm delivering content that you can actually use. Now, I will say there are a couple of different places I do draw inspiration from. One is my coaching clients, but collectively, like when I'm with my coaching clients and there's the same things happening over and over again, like 3, 4, 5 people come to me with the same situation, then I'll realize like, well, these aren't the only people going through this. This isn't just a one-off and I should make a show about it. So I make shows about that. One thing I'm noticing recently is people are struggling with how to navigate work, how to show up at work. So what I'm working on right now is creating a series of episodes that are all about how to show up at work and the whys behind it, the rationale behind it. That's something that I didn't get. And I'm starting to realize every workplace truly is not the same. There are themes that are the same. When you put people in a building and say, hey, this is work and we'll pay you to come here, funky things happen across the board. But every company has its own individual culture. And based on the leadership at the time, that's what kind of dictates and drives the culture. Now, companies that have been in business for a very long time, like Coca-Cola, there are certain things about the culture that probably no matter how much leadership tries, those things are so ingrained at this point, it's probably just going to be that way. For example, I know you guys probably recently saw that one of the senior legal leaders, he had just been hired from Ford. I think it was Ford. It was a Ford or GM, somewhere in one of the car companies in Detroit. And he was placed into a consultant type of position. He was paid $4 million and he will receive payments of $666,666 every month for the next year or so. And he will act as a consultant for the board. Now, one thing he tried to do was change the culture. So one of the things that came out, this is all public. I wasn't in the legal department when I was at Coke, right? So I don't know really what happened, but let's interpret some things that have been publicly said. So he had put in a mandate that every outside counsel has to have diverse representation on their legal teams, right? I don't know the ins and outs of the policy. I just know that he implemented this policy again after George Floyd. Everybody wanted to wake up. And so, I think he thought he was doing a great thing. These are my assumptions. One, the corporate culture of Coke, it's not one for making waves like that. Like, that's a big step change. And those outside counsels for Coke have been probably outside counsel for Coke. Some of them probably been around for the 100-some years the company's been in existence. So if you think about it, this company was started in slavery, during slavery, Reconstruction, all this stuff, right? So racism runs deep in these places, in spaces where you have money and power. You have racism. That's this country. Let's not get it twisted. So I say all that to say, making a change like that, telling legal entities that are run by old rich white men that they have to be diverse in order to work with Coke. Ain't no telling what happened, but whatever happened, it was so egregious that they gonna pay this man $666,666 a month. Now, if that ain't a devil's payment, I don't know what is. But enough about Coke. My point is, we go into these companies and we think they should be a certain way, and then we're surprised. I want to create a series coming up after the holiday that helps you figure out how to read the company culture and then how to show up regardless of company culture. There are just some basics that it seems like a lot of people just don't get. For example, when I say write an executive email, if you're writing an executive email, the email is like no more than a paragraph. It's pretty bullet pointed, right? A lot of bullet points. And basically it's short, pithy, and to the point, because executives get a lot of emails and don't have time to read soliloquies and paragraphs upon paragraphs, right? Just get to the point. And I know that's counterintuitive. A lot of times we're taught, especially in school, we're taught, show your work, show your work, show your work. And so a lot of times people will write these long ass emails. And I'm telling you right now, even as somebody who now in my position, I'm getting more emails. I'm more senior now. I don't want to read long ass emails. In fact, I don't read long ass emails. If I get a long ass email, I just schedule time with the person. I'm not reading their email. Now, I'm not going to tell them I'm not reading their email. I just put some time on the calendar. My emails tend to be a paragraph unless I'm documenting. That's another thing we're going to talk about. Documentation and the right ways to document. Shout out to attorney Anitra, because she got my documentation game even stronger. So listen, guys, I'm not going to keep y'all long. I just want you guys to know that, one, take some breaks, take some rest. We're halfway through the year already. Like, Q2 is over in like a week. It's crazy. And then the holiday, and then June is right here already. So we're 6 months in to the year. And I guess the end of June would be the end of the second quarter. So, okay, got one more month in the second quarter. But still, what's a month? A month goes by like that. So you should be coming up on midterm reviews or mid-year reviews, according to your fiscal. Most companies are on a calendar fiscal. If you're not on the calendar fiscal, then you had your mid-years probably a couple months ago. So this is a great time to take a pause, go back and look at feedback, make sure you're, meeting expectations, and then figuring out what you're going to do to exceed expectations. I know work is a lot, but at the end of the day, you want to set yourself up for your best possible outcome. And that's all I care about. What is our best possible outcome? We can't change these crazy people. We can't make people treat us right or do right by us. But what we can do is control ourselves. And in that controlling of ourselves, what we do is figure out what's my best possible outcome and what are the win-wins possibly, right? But put yourself first. Take care of yourself. Stay focused on your goals. Don't get caught up in the frustration and crazy of your job, because stress is a killer. Okay? Now, I said that quote unquote to y'all, but I'm actually talking to myself. So, with that said, you guys have a great week leading into the holiday weekend. There will be no episode on the holiday weekend because I am going to take my holiday. Like I just took a week before the holiday. I'm going to take another week. And so we'll be back in June with new episodes, working on some great interviews. Hit me up at ask@trillandba.com if you have any questions or concerns. There are limited coaching slots, individual coaching, if I can help you with your situation, trying to figure out what you should do. 45 minutes for $100, 45 minutes of just workshopping your issue and having actionable takeaways. That's always like, what's your best possible outcome? You can sign up for those at trillandba.com/coaching, and happy to help there. Also, we have our Patreon. Go to patreon.com/trillandba show. And sign up for our Patreon. I actually am doing group coaching with Patreons. It's cheaper than sessions. I also respond pretty quickly to emails and such from the Patreon group. Also, we'll be creating special content continuously for that group to help with their specific needs. So if you want to support the show, help me pay Chris to do the editing and help with all the production costs of the show and advertising, then hit up the Patreon. I really appreciate it. Thank you everybody who has joined the Patreon so far. I'm excited for our group coaching sessions for May next week. So I look forward to that. And again, I love hearing from you guys. If this show has helped you in any way, let me know. I really appreciate all the emails and things, because I'm a one woman show. It's like me and Chris, right? Like that's about it. And then I have a VA that does social media, but I actually need a virtual assistant to help with show production. So if you guys know anybody who's interested in doing a little volunteer work, I write great glowing reviews. Maybe we can trade some career coaching for some production work. I don't know. But hey, a closed mouth don't get fed. So I figured I'd ask in this whole impromptu episode. So anyway, y'all have a great week, a great Sunday. My prayer for all of us is that we come through this week breathing, healthy, and whole, and that we continuously work on our healing. If you are in corporate America, please get a therapist. You need it. These people are crazy, and they try to make you think you crazy, but you're not crazy. You're not crazy, sis. It's not you. So anyway, I love you guys. Thank you for listening to the show. Thank you for bearing with me. If the audio quality isn't that great, I'm sorry. I am literally recording this episode on my phone. So, all right, guys. Until next time, keep it Trill. The Trill NBA Show is a Fair World Corp. LLC production. Executive produced by Felicia and Rose Enuha. Sound design and editing by Chris Mann with Podshaper. Theme music is Kick Push by Ryan Little. Keep it Trill every day, y'all.